Hi, I'm Corinne, and welcome to Wild Divine Adventures. Each week, I'm going to be going through a topic and talking about things that I've learned about on the spiritual journey and on the spiritual path, and hope that by sharing them with you, that'll make things easier and clearer, and to avoid some of the mistakes and pitfalls that I've gone through. Well, today's topic, what I would like to talk about is synchronicities. You hear a lot about synchronicities, especially when you're walking a spiritual path. It's really wonderful to like think about a friend and then the next minute they call you, or you think about someone and you see them in the grocery store. Or for example, what happened to me the other night was I went to yoga and saw a friend who I'd just seen earlier in the day, and we said, "Oh my God, how are you? I haven't seen you in a long time." And then we go to yoga class, and then not 15 minutes later, we find each other at the same grocery store, and we didn't have it planned, and our timing was perfect. So you say to yourself, what are the chances and what are the odds? So there are those types of events that can be considered synchronicities, but there are also other ones, the larger ones. For example, if you're asking divine guidance, for a particular question you have, and you seem to be getting answers about that, how do you deal with all that? How do you deal with all that information? One of the things I especially wanted to address is synchronicities, when they start happening and when to start following them, because I know that was one of my pitfalls, was learning when to follow these synchronicities and when to realize they were just merely a reflection from what the universe and the world was telling me about what I should be doing and where I should be going. For example, let's say you really want, you're really looking for a shirt that's made out of flowers. And you say to yourself, okay, I really would like to manifest this shirt. And you're praying about it, you're praying about it. Then you just let the thought go. 2 days later, magically a friend shows up and hands you a shirt with flowers. Now, that is a pretty straightforward synchronicity. There can be no mistaking that divine guidance working in your life. However, there are also other ones. For example, I think maybe all of us have fallen into this, especially when it comes to relationships. For example, the ones where, I might say to myself, oh my God, I really want to be with this guy. I really want to be with him. And the next thing you know, it's like I see his friends. I happen to see his car everywhere. And then he, happens to walk in the door when I'm thinking about him. And I think, oh my God, I'm meant to be with him because everything is so synchronistic. Well, those are the hard lessons. Those are the ones where I actually learned with things like that. The more you focus and think about something, the more they'll actually show up in your life as synchronicities. It doesn't necessarily mean you're supposed to follow them, and they're not going to necessarily lead you anywhere. Another perfect example of that is, let's say I want to go on a trip to Maui. And I think, should I go to Maui or should I maybe go to Mexico? I mean, what should I do? And so you sit, you ask for divine guidance, and next thing you know, everything about Maui seems to be showing up. You think, oh, that's it, I'm meant to go. And then you go, and the next thing you know, you have a really challenging time, and you say to yourself, now what the heck was that all about? Where did my synchronicity lead me? So these are the kinds of things that I really would like to, take a deeper look at. For example, I mean, I really believe from what I've learned, synchronicities are guideposts of your soul, of your inner energy showing up in the outside world. Sometimes it is actually something you're supposed to follow, and sometimes it's merely a signpost along the way showing you you're moving in the right direction. Other times it's a signpost saying, ha, we're going to lead you to a really extraordinary lesson that you maybe, haven't learned for your soul yet. These are the different purposes of synchronicities. And synchronicities actually, they take a while to really to learn how to define. Just like in your dream life, when you start to really delve into your dreams on an active basis, you'll start to learn what's your stuff, what's someone else's stuff. But that also takes some practice. Same with synchronicities. So, for example, I wanted to talk about one book that I really love, and it's a Deepak Chopra book, and it's called The Spontaneous Fulfillment of Desire. They have an amazing, amazing tool in that book that I love to use to help me identify synchronicities and then write them down in my journal. Actually, I have a journal that I don't do it all the time, though I should, but It's a really great tool where I write down synchronicities, dreams, interdimensional experiences, or things that have to do with my energy body. So therefore, I can track them and maybe sometimes even go back and take a look and see what things were all about. So if you start writing down your synchronicities as they evolve in your life, then you'll start to identify them. So one of the things that they talk about in the spontaneous fulfillment of desire by Deepak Chopra, and he's absolutely wonderful. I love his stuff. There's a technique where you sit at the end of the day and you close your eyes and you review your day from the very, very beginning of your day. You walk through it and you say to yourself, was there anything unusual? Did anything happen that was out of the ordinary? For example, one thing that happened to me a couple months ago was I was thinking a phrase about let there be divine bliss. Of course, that's a common bumper sticker, but it's a little more complex than that. I can't remember the exact words, but then all of a sudden the thought passes through my mind. There you go. There's a car in front of me with that exact saying on it, and I was like, oh my god, that is so amazing. So those are the kinds of things that you also write down. Just little things. If you think about it, you write it down. It's there. A friend calls you that you've just been thinking about. The larger synchronicities as well, you can write those down. So that's a very, very good tool to start tracking the synchronicities in your life. And as you do this, you'll also notice, especially even after just doing it for 7 days, that you're going to find your synchronicities increase because you'll start noticing them more. I also believe that the universe or God, divine source, whatever you want to call it, is always trying to talk to us and speak to us here in this lower vibration. Let's call it a denser vibration because I don't like the words lower or higher. The denser vibration here on Earth and trying to communicate with us. And this is a wonderful way to start getting in touch with that. But just be forewarned, just because you see a synchronicity, it doesn't mean that's the path you're supposed to go down. It just means to be aware of that. So thanks for listening, and I'll have another video for you next week. Have a wonderful week, and may you be blessed from the heart.